Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Vortex.
Do-do-do-do-do. You can hear it.
The truth vortex.
You can hear the vortex.
Yeah, did I just hear like a little bit of vortex, a little bit of water rushing?
It's like, it was awesome.
No, it was really, really nice. I've been astounded by an individual recently. I bought every piece of literature on him.
That's so cool.
I'm a sucker for it. I mean, like, when I find something that I want to dive deep on, and it's often, I buy it all. So, and I told you I wanted to talk about this individual. And the gentleman's name is Viktor Schauberger. But, before we get into the nature of, no pun intended, of Viktor Schauberger, there was a time, probably from 1910 to, I would say, 1938, of this intellectual renaissance that was occurring. And it's weird that we haven't really seen that recently here in, I would say, our current paradigm, our world. And I wonder if our technology has distracted us from real, objective observations with rich thoughts and immense focus and patience.
Oh, 100%.
If we look at people,
If you had like a candlelight and a paper and a pen, that's all you had.
yeah, Bleistift, pencil, right, or Stift, pen in German. If we're talking about Schauberger, many of these individuals, Tesla, Viktor Schauberger, Rudolph Steiner, Einstein. I mean, you could go on and on. Whether it's people in physics or people that are
art. I mean, there was a renaissance in that same time period.
Yeah,
a renaissance of art. And then the connections of the seance thing. And there's a lot of spooky stuff with seances, but there was this connection of like artists getting together and opening themselves up and then creating new art and then getting downloads, and then through the downloads making these extraordinary, beautiful paintings.
So here's the key word you just used: the downloads.
Yeah.
And I think I find this is strictly theory, ladies and gentlemen, that these downloads are always there. Like a radio station, it always emits a signal, but you have to tune into it if you want to listen to it. I think we have become so distracted with our technology. We've afforded it so much focus and time. We're not tuning into the downloads that are always readily available. We're not taking the time, attention, and focus for ourselves to observe nature and our place in it. We're giving all of the value to the tech. And so it's almost like this renaissance of thought could have continued, but it hasn't. Because the second quantum mechanics showed up and, using fission for like making bombs, technology has completely overrun us. The steam engine wouldn't have done shit. I mean, you'd still be out there probably far more in tune with yourself, doing localized farming. You wouldn't be surrounded by all this crazy technology. And your focus would be so much clearer that you could actually tune into more of these downloads. But I think we become so distracted, so short-term on so many things that we're in our own way. And that renaissance of thought has stopped. And we've said, let's just keep evolving this technology, make things efficient. We don't need to be patient. We can get it done today, when real learning and real evolution actually takes time. And if we get out of the way and let these downloads occur, that renaissance needs to come back, but the focus needs to change. But there were key individuals that have had drastic impacts on society, science, research, everything. But there was at a time when there wasn't a hell of a lot of technology.
No.
There really wasn't a lot of distraction. There wasn't a shitload of social input. It was really dedicated focus and people that were so pure in what they were doing, in the sense of like, this is who I am, this is what I want to achieve, and this is what I want to perfect within myself. And also, how can I learn from the things that are around me observationally, rather than saying, I'm going to spend 10 seconds on TikTok, see something, and assume that that's the answer, or how I should be framing my world.
I doubt Michael Faraday was making TikTok dances.
Not happening.
I mean, he talked about getting downloads too, but
what's the benefit of Faraday? Let's give an example. Your microwave?
Yeah.
Do you know the screen on the front of it that looks like a mesh? That's called a Faraday cage.
Yeah.
The other four things are 1, 2, 3, 4 sides are solid. But your front one is at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your sixth. So your sixth side is the one that actually has a Faraday mesh.
Yeah. And then the penicillin guy, Pasteur or whatever.
Right.
Louis Pasteur.
Yeah.
Pasteur. I mean, yeah, that guy, it's all in that same time frame. And then it created the Industrial Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
And then we hit World War I, World War II. And then you kind of see after World War II with consumerism, like 1950s, we had more, like now, we had more things available, cool cars, houses. Everybody had a house now. Everybody had like a secure job, 30-year mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
The list goes on and on. And then it's thought like 1950s was like, you could watch Mad Men and all those shows. It seemed like it was just unconsciously consumerism. 80s hit, same thing.
People wanted to have more.
Rolls Royces.
Yeah. It was like there was a time when people wanted to understand more, and now people just want to have more. Now, today, it's about having more information, not truly understanding the information, which is right there in front of you.
But do you feel like our DNA probably has this dormant inside of itself? Like there's the thumb drive.
Sure.
That's there. And then you have the higher self who's past, present, and future.
Yeah.
That has infinite wisdom that's available.
The thing about your reliance, like I'm going to go here, I'm going to look at my calendar to tell me about my past or what I have planned in the future and then how I make choices today. Nothing is actually this internal process of work. There's no renaissance of thought for the individual anymore. You feel me on that?
Yeah. 100%.
And that's why like these other podcasts come out and guys go like, they're always on there like, you got to do this, you got to be like this, you got to think like this, and then you'll be a 1%er. Well, it's like, yeah, because nobody fucking thinks like that anymore.
But this is a thing that I have like really the last month, especially the more I dive into the higher self, the more an individual's uniqueness spiritually has to blossom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be totally, you're talking about millions of years of spiritual evolution. You're talking about so many different variances, collective conscious that move in and out of different meat suits.
Sure.
So for me to say like everybody should be like David Goggins, or everybody should be like a Joe Rogan, or everybody should be like the wokest of the woke, everybody should be like Joe Biden. It's like whoever you think is the spiritual Sadhguru or whoever. Mm-hmm. And he even said that, the book is in you, but for the higher self, it's so important to me. That's the spiritual practice. The spiritual practice is opening up that communication to the higher self.
Communication. How do you do that? You tune in.
Yes, that's what we're talking about. Yeah. Because that's going to give you the downloads.
That's where all the downloads
personal
come from.
It's going to give you, it's not going to hurt you.
No, it's not going to hurt you at all. Why? Because the information's there. The question is, do you want to listen to it?
Yes.
There's like listening and then there's hearing. Like, which of the two things are you doing? So
when you're talking about, because this is very important, this is something I've been actually like heavily studying on. Listening. So, and I know a way that we do that, there's a modality that we do, that you do, called meditation. Mm-hmm. And I do too in a different way, but you could call it meditation, whatever you call it, visualizing, whatever you want to call it. Whether you're Carla with, them having to get like the Bible situated right and the instruments all put, to get that frequency of raw. Mm-hmm. And whether you're in a pyramid, a copper pyramid, or people are putting out crystals and smudging and whatever it may be, scribing on black mirrors,
right?
So you see like there's all these different modalities, and it's almost like, what is the intention behind it?
There you go.
Because I think there's a selfish intention behind all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of looking at it and saying, hey, higher self, I'm humbly coming to you to teach me. I know where I'm at in this third density, and I know your sixth densities, whatever, way up there. So instead, it's like, I need meditation. You hear people be like, I need meditation to clear my mind.
Wrong.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, or I do forest bathing because it opens up my mind. It's almost like this narcissistic spiritual approach.
That's exactly what it is.
And you're doing it for no reason then.
Do you know why I meditate? Because there is something that allows me to exist. And I'm interested in letting it communicate to me and me getting the fuck out of the way.
Yeah, and this is where I think
I don't talk when I
right.
meditate.
No,
my goal in meditation is to stop my thoughts, because the thing that allows me to exist does not speak. It's everywhere. It's present all the time. How do I flow with that thing? You got to get the fuck out of your own way. I don't need to find something else. When I meditate, I'm just sitting with my own body. I'm not doing some weird, ritual that I have to set up. I'm just there, silently, in the existence of my own existence with this thing that allows me to animate myself. And I let it do its talking. And that could be through some sort of visual image I am given, some sort of auditory tone, right?
A signet, whatever it may be.
A feeling that I receive, any of those things.
Yeah.
And it's not for me to be like, oh, that's it. That's the answer. It's like, no, let these things just come in.
But see, that's what we want. It's like what's that new drug that everybody's taking to lose weight? Opasm or Opasm?
I don't know.
There's a new thing, and it's like Briggs Myers. Somebody is like making shit.
Bristol Myers Squibb.
Yeah, one of them. They're making like the stock prices through the roof. But you can take this pill, and it makes you lose like 20 to 40 pounds.
Okay,
it's out now. Ozempic. People are going to talk about it right now. Whatever. It's almost like we want that. We want to do this thing. Take this pill, and it's called meditation. Take this pill, it's called going to a retreat. Take this pill, it's ayahuasca, plant medicine. Take this spiritual discipline. I'm going to discipline myself.
Sure.
In a monastic way. Whatever it may be, we're almost wanting to do that in hopes that the outcome is like a pill that we feel is going to make us feel better. And all you're doing is this illusion of ego and comfort.
Mm-hmm.
But you're, instead of using a pill to lose weight to make yourself feel better physically, because like, oh wow, I lost weight.
Yeah.
Now you're doing it in a spiritual sense, but it's the same thing.
It's the same damn thing. Through meditation, in the early days of it, I had an expectation that when I meditate, I would have a faster consciousness evolution. It's a natural outcome. So when I would sit, so it's like sitting down to do that meditation, I'm like, oh, this is what I'm going to get out of it. Now, I've received many, many things out of meditation. Now I don't have an expectation. I don't say, oh, I have to sit down for 45 minutes or 15 minutes or an hour and a half. I sit down and I'm just there until I'm not there. I don't want to have the expectation, because then it again removes me, and I put the ego first. And I'm looking at it as like a dosed pill rather than doing one of the most natural things ever. Like when I'm sleeping, if I didn't have an alarm clock, my body will wake up when it wakes up, correct? Mm-hmm. So when I go to meditate, I want to do something immensely natural, but I don't want to have some sort of framework before going to do it, or have some sort of expected outcome, right?
But think of it like working out. Because like I said, I'm going crazy right now because this is something I've been really working with myself personally.
Right.
That's why I'm talking about this more. Like for this last month, I've been sick. So this last month has been like something like when I work out, I'm doing it because I want endorphins. I want to feel good. It gives me more energy.
Sure.
So I'm doing that thing that's probably suffering. You're lifting weights and doing cardio. It's a form of suffering.
Sure.
Physically. I'm doing it because the outcome is what I want.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm turning around and I'm hearing people and seeing people and listening to people, and they're adopting that same format into spirituality.
Yeah.
And you're missing the boat. To me, you're getting on the wrong boat and going in the wrong seas. Because to me, the higher self is the answer. Because that's the real you.
Yes.
So how you communicate with the higher self, like any so-called problem we face, should be looked at and brought to the higher self.
Absolutely.
So we should be talking to the higher self. This is something I've been like really, like when I get a wrong emotion, not wrong, but when I get an emotion that's aligned with my ego, I immediately have to go to my higher self. And this is really cool because people use this in spirituality with prayer.
Sure.
And it's almost the same format. You're not praying to a Jesus or a saint or a priest or whatever. And I'm not opposed to any of that stuff, rosaries, but because that gives you intention. But to me, it's kind of like the same thing in the sense of I need to seek wisdom constantly from my higher self because it has the true me answer.
Right.
Not I need to do meditation because I'm zen and I'm peaceful and I feel great and I don't get angry at my wife. Do you see what I'm saying? Or my boyfriend or whatever.
Your higher self, your spirit, your overall consciousness block, those things are perfected. They're perfected. You don't
in this density. We perfected it.
Need to seek anything here in the material. It's all there. It's an internal seeking that needs to happen. And it has all the love, all the knowledge, and all the wisdom you could ever need. Why? Because that thing allowing you to exist is part and parcel of creation itself. Creation is a perfected thing of existence, a unified thought. And you are a piece of that unified thought. Get the fuck out of the way.
Well, it's like, I told you about, I went to the hospital and then got super discouraged afterwards and then went to McDonald's and was like, fuck it. And I've been plant-based.
Yeah.
And I just went off the rails, like big time.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that. And afterwards, I was sitting there. I was like, oh, I believed I am the body.
There you go.
I was believing I am the body. I am the body. That's what I was believing.
Yeah.
So the minute that something happened to the body, I'm off the rails, like spiritually and everything.
That's it for me. It's all over.
No amount of meditation would have helped me. Well, I don't want to say that. No amount of doing a spiritual practice at that time would have helped me. What would have helped me more than anything is to get wisdom and understanding and love from the higher self.
Correct.
And if I would have tuned into that through meditation or whatever it may be.
Correct.
Pausing in my vehicle after and being like, why am I? And then this is the key, being self-aware enough to take that pause and get that download, because I feel like the download is there and available for everyone at all times.
That was what I'm saying.
And the thumbnail has your name on it.
Radio station's always on.
Yes. There you go.
Going to tune in? Infinite power, infinite range.
But don't you think that this is simpler than we're making it?
I don't think I know it is.
And that we've overcomplicated spirituality?
Without a doubt. People have commercialized it.
It's like, I was listening to a guy the other day and he was talking about, and I thought this was really cool because I have a problem with cannabis. It makes me paranoid.
Sure.
And he goes, the cannabis just reveals what you really are. Which was plant medicine is.
Sure.
And I thought that was a great thing because I was like, that really resonated with me. It's like, oh yeah, you're just a paranoid fucker, Jason. And the cannabis is just revealing that.
That's highlighting
and that's where plant medicine's really good at. It'll like open things up, and it's cool to see a jaguar in the jungle and the jaguar start talking to you.
Right.
It gets past a lot of bullshit and opens the download up a little bit better maybe. But in reality, we don't need anything external.
No.
Like, I mean, God, universe, the creator, whatever, you would know that in this third density, he's going to allow you to take that pill. That's going to open up the matrix. But he's not going to go against your free will.
I won't tell you what to do.
But it's so funny how we've created all of these modalities of spirituality that are not what we're supposed to be doing.
You want to...
And it's too simple. It's too simple.
That's the thing. Humans, in our non-infinite wisdom, think that things have to be complex to be valuable.
Yes.
Things require massive procedures, scarcity, all this stuff. And that's why big tech companies like Salesforce, shit product, poorly built, strapped together with like bolts of all fucking sizes. But everybody uses it, and it was sold because of the complexity around it and like all these crazy things it can do. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's got to be valuable. It's a system that takes people inputting stuff on a spreadsheet and puts it on a nice facing.
There's no good CRM.
No, and
it's customer relations management.
Yeah, and
there's no good CRM.
But I want to go off the Richter here. It's just that like in like the world of technology sales, it has to be complicated to be valuable. But the simple thing, people are in full disbelief. It's so effective. It's so scalable when it's so simple. It's so robust. People are like, that can't be true.
Like, I need a 5 bullet point value proposition.
I was at an event the other night, and this lady's like, I don't believe you. I said, frankly, I don't give a shit what you believe, because I have a fact about the power of this thing, and I can show you firsthand with data, and then you can figure it out for yourself. Don't let me tell you what the truth is. Why don't you go see it? And she was like all like put off by it. And it's like, things don't need to be complicated to be of value. And with spirituality and these gurus that come out, think about it. If one person has a method to become spiritual, whether it be through a cult, right, or being a guru, or being the John the White Healer or whatever,
wearing
in South America.
spiritual clothing.
The next person who's saying like, if you want to become spiritual, if you want to become closer to, God or gods or extraterrestrials or anything, you have to take a more complicated path. The method, the recipe has to be different. And so each one has their own like crazy little flow. And then for society today, they're like, well, I don't want to follow a spiritual guru. I want to do something for myself, but I'm going to do it at home. I'm going to get my crystals. I'm going to get my dissociative drugs. It's like all of those things are not necessary. They're completely unnecessary, but people feel like there has to be this crazy complex methodology to find this center, to find this level of quiet, but it's unnecessary. It's completely external.
I've had downloads just being in nature and being quiet.
And speaking
and instantly.
Right. And so this is the power of where Viktor Schauberger got his downloads.
Yeah, we're going to have to do another.
And we're going to have to do it, I guess, on part 2, because we're already like 23 minutes in. So ladies and gentlemen, please join us back for part 2 of Viktor Schauberger, which is really part 1 of Viktor Schauberger. Thank you.